everybody, it's Dr. Carmen Bryan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me. Those of you that are new subscribers, I am so excited that you're joining me and you're finding something relevant that I have to say concerning your situation and your discovery of narcissist abuse. Some of you are just now discovering that you're with a narcissist after many years, even after discarding or breaking up with the individual. And some of you guys are still in the relationship, and some of you are not able to respond to the videos. And so, but that's okay. But as long as you're learning and you're gaining strength and you're learning something about your situation, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Today, I wanted to talk about the narcissist who's always the victim. Always the victim. So let's look and see why they're always the victim. Well, first of all, because they're narcissists. So they're always the victim. Remember, narcissists will never take accountability for anything, nothing. I mean, you can see them do something, but they never take responsibility. Remember, they're perfect. And so anytime, you see any of their imperfection, they will always excuse it or blame it or project, let's use blame it on someone else. And then as, when it's very obvious, when there's certain things that are very obvious, because of the fact that they can't handle the fact that you have discovered their imperfection, which 9 times out of 10, everybody's seen their imperfections, they'll immediately go into either being the victim or, everyone is always accusing me of this. If you listen to what they're saying, a lot of times you'll find out what has been going, how they have maneuvered and operated in people's lives. And so they're always the victim. Everyone always says that, they just misjudge me. But if you notice, like, for example, during the love bombing stage, and some of you are like, well, he admitted or she admitted this. During a love bombing stage where they're trying to pull in a new source of supply, they'll give you a little bit of information. They give you just enough information to win your trust or your loyalty. They'll say things like, I know I was this type of person. I know that I did this, and because some things are very obvious. Some things are known not just by them, but known by the whole community, known by people within the workforce. They know this person's character. So because of the fact they try to outthink you, just in case you run into these individuals, they'll tell you, I know what I used to be like in the past, and I know I was a horrible person. I lost my family, I lost my kids, I lost my job, I lost whatever. And, and I could never shake that down because as I'm changing, people judge me and they'll never let me outlive, the mistakes that I have made. And, I realize that I have made a mistake. Well, that's just to pull in the new source supply. Now, once, because they know that 9 times out of 10, they may run into some of those people like, you're dating who? You know about so-and-so, or do you know what kind of person that you're dating? But what the narcissist has done is gone ahead to try to smooth that, see, I told you, they never let me live down. I'm telling you, I know I was like this. I know I did this. I know I did. So they'll give you pieces and parts. But when you stay in the relationship long enough with them, eventually they're going to stop doing that. And eventually, if you pay attention and listen to them, it will turn into it's everyone else's fault. Well, the reason why is because they didn't want Hispanics on the job. They didn't want whites on the job, and it was reverse discrimination. They didn't want this on the job, or, well, that's how she is, and she's always accusing me of, and, I told you she never forgave me, or he never forgave me, and so this is something that I have to deal with all the time. Now, keep in mind, you also have narcissists that come onto these channels. They come onto this channel, they learn the language, they learn the definitions, they learn the lingo, they learn, the thing about it is they're doing what they're doing, but now they're learning the language. They learn the language that we speak, so they'll use that particular language to a unsuspecting new source supply. And like, people gaslight me all the time, and I've seen people come in and out over the years, before I really understood. I was teaching this, but I didn't understand that there was a whole culture, a whole language, dealing with the narcissist. And so I would see people come in and out where I knew it was domestic violence, but I just couldn't put my finger on it because the narcissist, whether it was male or female, everything dealt with the spouse, or everything dealt with, this is what he or she does. This is what they do. This is what they do. And, and I'm tired excuse me, I'm tired of being treated this way. See, they never give you all the information on what they were doing to cause that individual to do what they were doing. They didn't tell you that they were locked out of the house in the cold. They didn't tell you that, that they refused to give them money to buy food, or they didn't. So by the time they come in, either the victim is exasperated and completely out of control, and so the behavior in a session or behavior in a courtroom, they just lose it. And so what happens is that narcissist like, see, I told you, I'm always mistreated like this, and I don't understand, why he or she does me like this. I've watched police being called on a narcissist during the time there was a physical altercations with, within the neighborhood, a physical altercation. Unbeknownst to me, the neighbor was the narcissist, and the police was called. But by the time the police was called, it became a matter of, I was abused in childhood, and I grew up with post-traumatic stress, and, and people don't understand. And so totally trying to divert the police officer off of what the individual just did to the victim, because the victim is now out of control, and now the narcissist is in the midst of this Grammy nomination. Excuse me, you guys, heater was on, but the Grammy nomination, the best actress or actor award. You have the like female narcissists, the over dramatics, where they are the aggressors, and in order to keep the aggressor off, the victim may either push them off of them or try to defend themselves, and just putting their hands on it, they tumble all the way down the street. And the only thing that the man, and a lot of times it's the men that tell me about this, all I did was put my hands up so that I wouldn't get hit with a pole, get hit with a, or something get thrown at me, and they put their hands up and it touches them, and it could touch them like this, or move the hand, and moving the hand causes them to tumble like a stunt man. Just tumble down the steps, tumble out the door, roll through the parking lot, and roll into some neighbor's house. That's how dramatic they get. So by the time that if you guys remember the movie, It's a Thin Line Between Love and Hate, where I can't recall her name. She beat herself up with that grapefruit and then blamed it on him, and he ended up getting arrested for abuse. That is what the narcissist will do, to focus the attention off of their bad behavior and to focus the attention on you. You are now the aggressor. That's why a lot of times I tell you guys, don't be so quick to speak. Even in a court situation where you have information, and sometimes you guys are so angry, you're trying to lash out, you say too much. You're an abuser, and you did this, and I know that you did this to my kids, or you did this, and you this. They take everything that you say, and remember, they never rest. They're always thinking. They're always trying to outthink you, because remember, you can't outthink them. You can't be smarter than them. And so they'll put all the antics in it. You will hear them tell your story. They project their bad behavior onto you, and by the time they tell the story is your story, and everything that you have been through, you're listening to them tell the story, because they know exactly what they're doing. They're always the victim. It doesn't matter what it is. They can drop their wallet, and I can't believe I dropped my wallet, and and my nerves are just, because I have so much stress at home. And you're thinking, you're not even at home. You dropped your wallet. Okay. So always the victim. So let's look. I went to Cynthia Bailey Rugg. This is Cynthia Bailey Rugg, and this is How Narcissists Convince Victims They're the Problems. There's a few things that I wanted to point out. So let's see. First of all, hold on. Let's look. Is it this one I wanted to look at? Give me a second, you guys. No, I think it's this one. This article is a Mystical Raven, and this is by Dr. Tara J. Palmitier. She's a PsyD, so she is a doctor of psychology. I don't know if she's a psychologist. And this is why narcissists always play the victim when their lies are exposed. They play victim all the time. So remember, remember my book, Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. They're always living a life of an illusion of perfection. So remember, they have a low self-esteem, they have low self-worth, so they have to present or create this illusion that they are perfect and cannot do wrong. When their masks begin to slip, and that's why a lot of times that's when you get discarded and you begin to see their flaws. Something simple, you see their flaws. This is the time they begin to look for a new supply that sees them as being perfect. And so, but at the same time, you begin to see their flaws, but their flaws are now contributed to you. You made this happen to me. And you're thinking like, I didn't know you 30, 40, 50 years ago. This is why I'm conducting myself like this, because you have put so much stress. They're saying what you say. You said, you stress me so much that I'm physically ill. They'll repeat it. You stress me so much that I'm physically ill. They'll go to a counselor or a doctor and say, they'll know the terminology to use within a clinical setting, because when you come into a clinical setting like therapy, I listen for key words, but I also watch to see who's telling me what they're telling. I watch, I listen, you have to remember that not all therapists are trained on cluster B behavior patterns, and so, when a person is constantly accusing, but you don't hear them taking any responsibility, and they'll give you a little responsibility, but then everything is focused on what people do to them and how they do this, and I have this disease and this is what happened. Sometimes they're telling you they have a disease that they don't have because it's somebody else's disease, and I'm so overstressed, and they'll take things like this from the video or things like this from the the partner, and they'll say things like, I'm so stressed that I'm losing hair, or I'm so stressed that I'm physically getting ill. Now, this is your story. I'm physically getting ill because they need that fuel. They need that attention. They're going to play the victim, because playing the victim is almost like the Munchausen. Is it Munchausen by proxy? Where, remember, they were making the kids sick, and the parent will make the kids sick in order to get the attention, because they get the attention. So it's like Munchausen, where they play the victim or women that like to be pregnant just for the simple fact that they get attention. Same thing with the narcissist. I'm going to feign victim or illness or sick. You got, are you guys ready for some jokes? Women out there saying they got testicular cancer, and you're looking at them like, okay, did you have like the transformation surgery? Oh, no, but I know I haven't. Thank you guys. Now, it may be humorous, but you literally have people that say that. A woman may have breast cancer, and the man is like, well, she didn't care when I had, split eyelashes, and she didn't think nothing about it when I was stressed at work. Remember I said this on another video, but they're always the victim. They never take responsibility of their own behavior. And then when they get around people, for example, you have somebody with a terminal illness, and they're focused on themselves, and they're the victim because you're getting too much attention. So they become the victim because they need that attention. And so everything is about them, about their split ends, their nails are falling off. I had a bad day at work, and you're looking at them like this person has a terminal illness. She always gets the attention. He always gets the attention. You just need to man up. You need to woman up. And when enough people make them feel stupid, really, about what they're saying, then they will play victim again. Well, I do have post-traumatic stress, and, I do have, and I'm so stressed because I'm worried about her. And so sometimes, or I'm worried about him, and sometimes I just say the wrong things and I make the mistake. And then what do people do? It's okay. We understand people go through stress, but the thing is to a trained ear, you'll pick it up. And you guys are getting the trained ear. So with a trained ear, you start picking up those red flags. For the average person, they're not looking for that. So what do? I make mistakes sometimes. When they realize they're wrong and they really can't pull themselves out of it, they become the victim, and I'm just overstressed, and I just don't want anything to happen to him, and I love him so much, or I love her so much, and I'm just, sometimes I say some of the dumbest thing when I'm overstressed. I have post-traumatic stress, and the post-traumatic stress makes me act like that. Think about it. Always the victim. Okay, let's look. Let's see here. We're on here. Let's see what she says. Do know that they are compulsive and habitual liars. They lie all the time. They lie when they're laying down. They're lying down lying. They're sleep lying. Their dreams are made of lies. It's not even a nightmare. It's a lie-mare. They're not even having dreams. They're having lies. They lie all the time. Their whole life consists of a lie. They wake up. You have to ask them their name. That's a lie. Your name is a lie. Dr. Lie. That's what you are. But they compulsively lie. In order for a narcissist to operate in this world and get supply and fuel from supply, they have no choice but to adjust the lie to the supply they're going through. So though it may sound humorous, they are compulsive liars. And a lot of times they lie so much they can't recall the lies that they told when they told the lie. And when you confront them, and it's not even a confrontation, you may just say, hey, but you just told me the other day that this and that and this and this. I never. See, then they fly into a rage, and then they begin gaslighting. Then they gaslight, you always, see, I told you something's wrong with your mind. You always accuse me of, but what's the best way to divert? If a person screams and yells and rages and everything, it causes you not to focus on what you just said. That is a diversion tactic because they've just lost themselves because they can't recall what they said to you in the first place. So let's look. But they're always the victim. And I'm tired of being accused. My mama accused me. My daddy accused me. Now you accusing me. No one cares about me. We need to make a movie. Let's see. It'll be called, you got the Build-A-Bear. We're going to call it Build-A-Narc. So let's see. They feign anger, outrage, and indignation when they get caught in a lie. When exposed, how dare you catch my lies? That's basically what they're saying. How dare you pay attention? How dare you be smarter than me? It's a form of gaslighting and crazy making. Let's see. No one makes anybody lie. What she's saying here. People lie to manipulate others into doing things they usually otherwise would not do, or to avoid natural consequences of their behaviors. Exposing their, I think this is misspelled. Okay, we'll just go on to the next sentence. I could pronounce that, it's just misspelled. Let's see. When they try to make you the villain for exposing their lies, it's they're engaging in deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. Being a pathological liar doesn't necessarily mean you have a personality disorder. That is true. Some people just liars. But if you're personality disordered, odds are you are a pathological liar. A lie is still a lie, even if a liar convinces himself it's the truth. It's still a lie. Even if you tell a part of the truth, it's still a lie. Because you told a part of the truth to manipulate somebody into believing you. Think about it. We can't really say average because nowadays, what is normal? But the normal, almost healthy person, let's put it that way, because we all got some issues. So, a normal person, whatever that definition is, when they meet someone, you talk, you build rapport, you get to know that individual, you may give them some information about yourself, and you just talk to get to know each other, but a narcissist already has concocted a lie based off of them studying you. Remember, they have studied you. They have not hoovered, but they kind of hoovered you. They stalked you. And so they have to generate these lies because they don't want you to see any of their flaws, so they have to be perfect. And so here you're thinking, I've gotten the perfect soulmate, I've got a perfect man or woman that finally understands me. That's a red flag in itself. There is no such thing as a perfect person. There is a perfect person out there for you, and you are a perfect person for someone, but there is no such thing as a perfect person. You two may fit like a hand in glove, a yin and a yang, but at the same time, people they still have flaws. They still have their issues. It's how you handle the issue. It's a mutual level of respect, and you have to learn communication, and you have to learn honesty. You have to be honest. Sometimes people tell a lie in fear of losing a person, and they apologize, and we can work beyond that, right? Well, a narcissist comes straight in lying. They'll lie about their name, they'll lie about their height, they'll lie about their eye color, and you're looking at them like, I wear the same color eye contact, so how you gonna lie about your eye color? What kind of cars they drive, what car, I've known narcissists when I was in the military. I've known narcissists to stand by other people's car to pretend like it was theirs. So when the woman passes by, or when like someone they were trying to impress, remember back in the day, y'all know y'all did that when you back in the day, back in your high school day. Don't even lie, you know you did it too. You know, stood by a car and pretended like it was yours, and then walked off, and you know, and then waved and kept going, pretend like that was your car. Well, narcissists, I've seen narcissists do that too. Go to the parking lot, stand by the car, act like they're going to get to the car, and then pretend like they forgot something in the building, and go back to the building just to make sure that the whoever that new possible source that was watching them, or who they were trying to impress, was watching them, and watch them walk to the car. And then if they're still outside because they know there's somebody else's car, they may try to go do something else so that you'll stop watching them. So imagine, I mean, if we're talking like this, simple little things like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Imagine the length, the depth they go to lie, first of all, and then when they get caught in the lie, how they always try to divert, or how, you know, I know sometimes I go overboard when there is no way to divert. You know, I know I go overboard sometimes, and I just can't help myself. I just, you know, I come from a family that was poor, and so and I was talked about as a kid, and I didn't have anything, and so, you know, I don't like, I'm still struggling with that. Okay, see, that's maybe part of the truth, but they're narcissists. That's what they do. But you see how they become the victim again. So let's see. Okay, so let's go to the other one that I was just mentioning. And I probably covered it too. We talked about the projection. They always accuse others of their own flaws. This makes a person feel inadequate. A person may even become angry, but feels they don't have the right to be angry since they're the flawed one. So you are made to feel flawed, and you're always accusing me. Victim mentality. You're always accusing me, this person don't like. If they try to get you away, let's say that you went no contact, and then they try to get back with you, and then you have a pretty good support system, and then your support system telling you need to hang in there, but you've given them an opportunity where you broke no contact and they're talking to you. The one thing that you'll hear them say, especially like dealing with a man and a female, or even a female with a man, is that your friends never liked me in the first place. You see that they don't talk to me. Now, let's say the friends don't talk to them because they know, excuse me, guys. But let's say that the friends don't talk to the narcissist or engage with that narcissist because they know how toxic or how dangerous that person may be. And that the fact that they know that they do a lot of smear campaigning, or they rage a lot. And so what they'll do is they'll use that obvious information, and they'll reverse it because you're accustomed to them telling you stuff like that. And they'll tell you, well, they don't like me anyway. They don't want to see you happy. I'm trying to do right, but they can never forgive me of the things that I've done in the past, so they can never see the real me. They won't even give me an opportunity, and I'm just trying to show you, but as long as they're in your ear, then I can never get an opportunity to prove to you. But come on, how many years have you dealt with this? Some of you have dealt with this for many years, and their track records have shown to you that they are who they are, and they're not going to change. You see what I mean? You can't get to the point where you are so lonely, or you start craving and you start having those withdrawals where you break your no contact and go back. But remember, they're always a victim, because now they're a victim. Now your friends don't like me. Well, it's not that the friends don't like you, it's that the friends stay away from you because they know how toxic that narcissist is, or they know how dangerous that narcissist can be, or they've watched you go through stuff and they've watched you suffer, and they're on your side. This is your crew. This is your support system. And so now, remember, they always try to isolate you and separate you from voices of reason. And so they will use that victim mentality. They don't like me anyway, and they're trying to keep us apart. And they ain't got no man, so they're gonna hate on me because you have a man. Or I don't even know if men talk like that. I'm not sure if men talk like that. Well, they don't have. Well, hold on. No, a man would talk like that, but I don't know if a woman would talk like that. Let me think. They don't have a man. If it's females that are encouraging a man, then a woman may say, well, they don't have a man. That's why they're handling me like that in the first place. And a man will say it to a woman like, all those friends that you got, they're all manless. So what are they going to tell you? They ain't got no man, and they know that I'm a good guy. That's why they're hating on me. And that is probably far beyond the truth. We see the toad and you don't, or we see that frog and he is not, or she is not getting ready to turn into a princess, queen, or a prince. They're going to stay a little bumpy little toad. That's what they're going to stay. Okay, let's see. They don't examine their own behavior, only yours. You'll notice they're always telling you about yourself. They're always telling you how you need to change. They're always telling you everything that they say is a lot of things of themselves. And so you try so hard to change yourself to appease this person, and really they're projecting how they see themselves on you. But it's never a matter of you telling me all the flaws that I have, but you can't see the flaws that you have. Why are you so focused on me? You need to be focused on you. And in a relationship, usually when people come in, not usually, but when people come in and they come in for couples counseling, when they're busy pointing the finger at themselves, I tell them, I say, in order for you to better the relationship, you have to work on your own self. What are you doing to contribute to this relationship, whether it's bad or good? And when you begin to work on yourself and become your authentic self, the relationship becomes better, but not with a narcissist. But they'll take that and they'll write, see, Dr. Carmen said, you need to change and you need to focus on yourself, but they still do not focus on themselves. They're still focusing on what, me or any other therapist has said to them. All the stuff they see, that's exactly what she was talking about, but they don't take any advice for themselves. Gaslight, we talked about the gaslighting. Narcissists provoke their victims to rage while maintaining their cool. One primary feature of narcissism is their complete lack of empathy. This enables narcissists to feel no guilt or remorse for abusing a victim. This also means that they can maintain their calm demeanor while simultaneously driving a victim to the brink of madness. That's what they do. They get fuel out of that. That's why they stay calm. It's like injecting them with a drug, watching you just lose it. When this happens, the victims feel insane. The victim feels insane. After all, the victim is the one screaming and crying while the narcissist is cool and collected because they're getting a high. They're getting fuel from that. The victim looks crazy to herself or himself and anyone else who may be witnessing this phenomenon. But remember, they're cool and calm because they're getting that dose of fuel that in their little arm, in their little needle, or they're getting that fuel from you. But I guarantee you, if you don't react, and they continue to prod the bear, and you don't react, they'll lose it because they can't understand why you are not reacting. So I think that's it for today. So hopefully I explained some stuff dealing with that victim's mentality. Hopefully you guys got something out of that. Please leave your comments, leave some responses. I have a question for you guys. I am planning on making webinars. So I say webinars, but like educational classes, pertaining to narcissist abuse, taking you through different, I talk a lot on the videos and, but as an educator myself, I was going to create classes, short classes, not too long, at a nominal fee. And hopefully you guys will support me because I will be creating a book out of that and workbooks out of that. So you guys can go in and when people, because I can't provide you guys with counseling, but I can provide you with a lot of psychoeducation and support whatever way I possibly can. The other thing is how many of you guys, if you could, if possible, if Apostle Helen Sadler and I, my mentor, from Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper on YouTube, so make sure you guys go and subscribe. If we did a 1 or 2 day conference here in the Seattle area, how many of you guys will be willing to fly out here and come join us for the conference? You guys let me know in the comments, how many of you guys will be willing to fly out here, get a hotel, and do maybe a 1 or 2 day conference focused or symposium, maybe focused on, narcissist abuse, and where you have both of us on the platform, and maybe we can get some other people, but both of us on the platform where you can ask whatever question you want. We'll provide you with, the psychoeducation part and biblical information and spiritual biblical, because she is the presiding prelate. She is the senior pastor and has other churches under her and other ministries and leaders. And if we open that up, you are talking to a senior pastor. Some of you guys have been abused within the church by narcissists. And I'm not talking those of you that are non-believers. Just take the principle out of the information. If you want to fly in, that is awesome. But you have myself as a clinician, and then you will have her as the senior presiding pastor to be able to bring you more information on narcissist abuse. If you guys are willing to fly in, I can talk to her and we can put together something, but just to get a head count to see how many of you guys would like to come and fly in, and you get to meet and talk to us. Maybe we'll do something special, who knows, but we'll talk. I just want to get a kind of an estimate of a number of how many of you guys would like to do that, and that would be like really awesome. I get to meet some of you guys. She will get to meet some of you guys. We're on the other end of YouTube. I don't see any of you guys, but to actually meet some of you guys, and you tell me what your handle name is, and get to meet you guys and see you guys face to face for the first time. Let me know if that'd be something you're interested in. And for those of you that are new to the channel, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being here. If you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the bell so you know whenever I upload new videos. And then on Sunday, I come on live between 8 and 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So I will be back on Sunday. So we're not traveling. I'll be back on Sunday. And for those of you that have not already, please go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble and look for my book. It is Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. I take narcissism, explain it to you, not in detail like the videos, but I explain to you what narcissism is, narcissistic personality disorder is, and then I give you examples of what it looks like. Some of you guys will be able to find yourself in that book. Some of you guys will be able to relate. You will, male and females alike. Now, true enough, a lot of these stories are, from the women, but you will be able to find, a lot of you men, you will be able to find your story in that book, because this is just giving you an idea of narcissist personality disorder played out, and people in different walks of life, in different stages of their life, even in stages of development, in their careers, what they were thinking, how they were groomed as children, when they were kids, how they were groomed to think, and how they ended up in the arms of a narcissist. And so please go to Barnes & Noble or Amazon. On Amazon, you can buy a Kindle or ebook, and it is Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. I also have a Facebook page, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the thumbs up. I post on both pages, and my professional page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. And for those of you that are also interested in the spiritual, biblical aspect of narcissism, go to my mentors page. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. She is the presiding prelay of Into His Chambers Global Ministries here in the Federal Way, Washington area. Hopefully, maybe one day you guys can come to a conference that is hosted by the church, and we can meet you. When we have a women's conference coming up, so maybe you guys can fly in for the women's conference, but then also a conference dealing with narcissism. If you guys would like to fly in, that will be so amazing. Maybe that's something we can do on an annual basis. We meet up and meet each other, and go hang out and do something like eat. We love to eat. I know we're up north, but we some southern girls. We like to eat. So thank you guys once again for joining me. Thank you guys for being so supportive. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the well wishes. Thank you for the support on my books. I really I love what I do, and I'm so grateful that you guys are getting something out of it. You guys go and be great.